Arimaa, ə-REE-mə, is a two-player strategy board game that was designed to be playable with a standard chess set and difficult for computers while still being easy to learn and fun to play for humans. Every year since 2004, the Arimaa community has held 3 tournaments: a World Championship, a Computer Championship, and the Arimaa Challenge. In 2015, the challenge was won decisively by the computer, with top players agreeing it was no fluke but proof that computers are currently superior to humans, as it was a prerequisite for the prize to be awarded. Most of ICGA Journal issue 38/1 was dedicated to this topic. Arimaa was invented in 2003 by Omar Saeed, an Indian-American computer engineer trained in artificial intelligence. Saeed was inspired by Garry Kasparov's defeat at the hands of the chess computer Deep Blue to design a new game which could be played with a standard chess set. Would be difficult for computers to play well, but would have rules simple enough for his then 4-year-old son Amir to understand. Arimaa has won several awards including Games Magazine 2011 Best Abstract Strategy Game, Creative Child Magazine 2010 Strategy Game of the Year, and the 2010 Parents' Choice Approved Award. It has also been the subject of several research papers. Rules: Arimaa is played on an 8x8 board with 4 trap squares. There are 6 kinds of pieces, ranging from elephant to rabbit. Stronger pieces can push or pull weaker pieces, and stronger pieces freeze weaker pieces. Pieces can be captured by dislodging them onto a trap square when they have no orthogonally adjacent friendly pieces. There are 3 ways to win the game. Move a rabbit to the 8th row or 1st row of the board. Capture all enemy rabbits. Deprive the opponent of legal moves. The 2 players, gold and silver, each control 16 pieces. These are, in order from strongest to weakest: 1 elephant, 2 horses, 2 cats. These may be represented by the king, queen, rooks, bishops, knights, and pawns respectively when one plays using a chess set. Gold: the object of the game is to move a rabbit of one's own color onto the home rank of the opponent. Thus gold wins by moving a gold rabbit to the 8th rank, and silver wins by moving a silver rabbit to the 1st rank. However, because it is difficult to usher a rabbit to the goal line while the board is full of pieces, an intermediate objective is to capture opposing pieces by pushing or pulling them into the trap squares. Setup: the game begins with an empty board. Gold places the 16 gold pieces in any configuration on the 1st and 2nd ranks. Silver then places the 16 silver pieces in any configuration on the 7th and 8th ranks. Diagram 1 shows one possible initial placement. Movement: after the pieces are placed on the board, the players alternate turns, starting with gold. A turn consists of making 1 to 4 steps. With each step a piece may move into an unoccupied square 1 space left, right, forward, or backward, except that rabbits may not step backward. The steps of a turn may be made by a single piece or distributed between several pieces in any order. A turn must make a net change to the position. Thus one cannot, for example, take 1 step forward and 1 step back with the same piece, effectively passing the turn and evading zugzwang. Furthermore, one's turn may not create the same position with the same player to move as has been created twice before. This rule is similar to the situational superco rule in the game of Go, which prevents endless loops, and is in contrast to chess where endless loops are considered draws. The prohibitions on passing and repetition make Arimaa a drawless game. Pushing and pulling: the second diagram, from the same game as the initial position above, helps illustrate the remaining rules of movement. A player may use 2 consecutive steps of a turn to dislodge an opposing piece with a stronger friendly piece which is orthogonally adjacent in one of the 4 cardinal directions. For example, a player's dog may dislodge an opposing rabbit or cat, but not a dog, horse, camel, or elephant. The stronger piece may pull or push the orthogonally adjacent weaker piece. When pulling, the stronger piece steps into an empty square, and the square it came from is occupied by the weaker piece. The silver elephant on d5 could step to d4 and pull the gold horse from d6 to d5. When pushing, the weaker piece is moved to an orthogonally adjacent empty square, and the square it came from is occupied by the stronger piece. The gold elephant on d3 could push the silver rabbit on d2 to e2 and then occupy d2. Note that the rabbit on d2 can't be pushed to d1, c2, or d3, because those squares are not empty. Friendly pieces may not be dislodged. Also, a piece may not push and pull simultaneously. For example, the gold elephant on d3 could not simultaneously push the silver rabbit on d2 to e2 and pull the silver rabbit from c3 to d3. An elephant can never be dislodged, since there is nothing stronger. Freezing a piece which is orthogonally adjacent in any cardinal direction to a stronger opposing piece is frozen, unless it is also orthogonally adjacent to a friendly piece. Frozen pieces may not be moved by the owner, but may be dislodged by the opponent. A frozen piece can freeze another still weaker piece. The silver rabbit on a7 is frozen, but the one on d2 is able to move because it is orthogonally adjacent to a silver piece. Similarly, the gold rabbit on b7 is frozen, but the gold cat on c1 is not. The dogs on a6 and b6 do not freeze each other because they are of equal strength. An elephant cannot be frozen, since there is nothing stronger, but an elephant can be blockaded. Capturing a piece which enters a trap square is captured and removed from the game unless there is a friendly piece orthogonally adjacent. Silver could move to capture the gold horse on d6 by pushing it to c6 with the elephant on d5. A piece on a trap square is captured when all orthogonally adjacent friendly pieces move away. Thus, if the silver rabbit on c4 and the silver horse on c2 move away, voluntarily or by being dislodged, the silver rabbit on c3 will be captured. Note that a piece may voluntarily step into a trap square, even if it is thereby captured. Also, the second step of a pulling maneuver is completed even if the piece doing the pulling is captured on the first step. For example, silver could step the silver rabbit from f4 to g4, and then step the silver horse from f2 to f3, which captures the horse. The horse's move could still pull the gold rabbit from f1 to f2. In the diagrammed position, if it were gold's turn to move, gold could win in 3 steps. The dog on a6 can push the rabbit on a7 to a8, and when the dog is on a7, it unfreezes the rabbit on b7, which can step to b8 for the victory. Other ways to win: a player who loses every rabbit loses the game. A player who cannot make a move at all also loses the game. Strategy and tactics. For beginning insights into good play, see the Arimaa wiki book articles on tactics and strategy. Carl Juinka, twice Arimaa world champion, has written a book titled Beginning Arimaa, which gives an introduction to Arimaa, tactics and strategies. Also, Jean Dalago, 6-time Arimaa world champion, wrote Arimaa Strategies and Tactics, which is geared towards those who have started playing Arimaa and want to improve their game. Annual tournaments. World Championship. Each year since 2004, the Arimaa community has held a World Championship tournament. The tournament is played over the internet and is open to everyone. The current world champion is Matthew Brown of the United States of America. Past world champion title holders are 2004 Frank Heinemann of Germany, 2005 Carl Juinka of USA, 2006 Till Weeches of Germany, 2007 Jean Dalago of France, 2008 Carl Juinka of USA, 2009 Jean Dalago of France, 2010 Jean Dalago of France, 2011 Jean Dalago of France, 2012 Hiroumi Takahashi of Japan, 2013 Jean Dalago of France, 2014 Jean Dalago of France, 2015 Matthew Brown of USA. World Computer Championship. Each year since 2004 the Arimaa community has held a World Computer Championship tournament. The tournament is played over the internet and is open to everyone. The current champion is bot_sharp, developed by David Wu of the USA. Past Computer World Champion title holders are 2004 bot_bomb, developed by David Fotland of USA. 2005 bot_bomb, developed by David Fotland of USA. 2006 bot_bomb, developed by David Fotland of USA. 2007 bot_bomb, developed by David Fotland of USA. 2008 bot_bomb, developed by David Fotland of USA. 2009 bot_clueless, developed by Jeff Batcher of Canada. 2010 bot_Marwin, developed by Mattias Hultgren of Sweden. 2011 bot_sharp, developed by David Wu of USA. 2012 bot_Marwin, developed by Mattias Hultgren of Sweden. 2013 bot_Ziltoid, developed by Ricardo Barreira of Portugal. 2014 bot_sharp, developed by David Wu of USA. 2015 bot_sharp, developed by David Wu of USA. Arimaa Challenge. The Arimaa Challenge was a cash prize of around $10,000 that was available annually until 2020 for the first computer program to win the Human vs. Computer Arimaa Challenge. As part of the conditions of the prize, the computer program must run on standard, off-the-shelf hardware. The Arimaa Challenge has been held 12 times, starting in 2004. Prior to the third match, Saeed changed the format to require the software to win 2 out of 3 games against each of 3 players, to reduce the psychological pressure on individual volunteer defenders. Also, Saeed called for outside sponsorship of the Arimaa Challenge to build a bigger prize fund. In the first 5 challenge cycles, David Fotland, programmer of Many Faces of Go, won the Arimaa Computer Championship and the right to play for the prize money, only to see his program beaten decisively each year. In 2009, Fotland's program was surpassed by several new programs in the same year, the strongest of which was Clueless by Jeff Batcher. Humanity's margin of dominance over computers appeared to widen each year from 2004 to 2008 as the best human players improved. But the 2009 Arimaa Challenge was more competitive. Clueless became the first bot to win 2 games of a challenge match. In 2010, Mattias Hultgren's bot Marwin edged out Clueless in the Computer Championship. In the challenge match, Marwin became the first bot to win 2 out of 3 games against a single human defender, and also the first bot to win 3 of the 9 games overall. In 2011, however, Marwin won only 1 of the 9 games, and that one having received a material handicap. In 2012, a new challenger, Briareus, became the first program to defeat a top 10 player, sweeping all 3 games from the 5th-ranked human. In 2013, however, the humans struck back against Marwin, with number 4 and number 6 each sweeping, including a handicap win, and number 31 winning 2 of 3 games. In 2014, the computer bounced back to win 2 games, albeit no matches. In 2015, Sharp made a substantial leap in playing strength. After having scored 6-6 in 12 games against its top 2 computer rivals the previous year, Sharp went undefeated in the computer tournaments of 2015, including 13-0 against the 2nd and 3rd place finishers. Sharp dominated the pre-challenge screening against human opponents, winning 27 of 29 games. In the challenge itself, Sharp clinched victory in each of the 3 mini-matches by winning the first 6 games, finishing 7-2 overall and winning the Arimaa Challenge. The material handicaps given in the challenge games can be roughly equated to chess handicaps as a proportion of the total material on the board in each game. Arimaa handicaps of rabbit, dog, horse, and camel are roughly equivalent to chess handicaps of pawn, 2 pawns, knight, and rook respectively. Patent and trademark. U.S. Patent No. 6,981,700 was filed on 3 October 2003, and granted on 3 January 2006. Omar Saeed also holds a trademark on the name ə-REE-mə. Saeed has stated that he does not intend to restrict non-commercial use and has released a license called the ə-REE-mə Public License, with the declared intent to make ə-REE-mə as much of a public domain game as possible while still protecting its commercial usage. Items covered by the license are the patent and the trademark.